Today I will be running down a crime thriller film that was released in 2010. This movie tells the story of a woman who got attacked by 5 culprits during a cabin retreat and they thought she was dead. But none of them anticipated her return when she came back for payback. Please be advised that there will be spoilers ahead of this video, so chill out and enjoy it as I narrate it for you. The movie opens up with a young writer named Jennifer, who has decided to isolate herself outside the city so she can work on her latest novel. Jennifer first stops over at an old man's place named Earl, who has to rent her the cabin house. Earl informs Jennifer that the cabin is located in the middle of the forest, which is very far from the highway, so she needs the map and the house keys so she can find her way. The girls thanked him before starting the engine. However, the map confused Jennifer. Thus, she got lost and was forced to make a stop at a gas station to refuel and ask for directions. The girl meets 3 young men, Andy, Stanley, and Johnny, who work at the gas station. The group leader, Johnny, starts the conversation with Jennifer after refueling her. However, Jennifer unintentionally spills the bucket of water on Johnny's clothes, resulting in embarrassment in front of his friends. The girl apologizes to him before leaving. Just a few minutes later, Jennifer arrives at the cabin where she is expecting to stay. The girl arranges her stuff since she plans to stay for the whole month until she finishes her novel. As the days go by, Jennifer has already adjusted to her new life. Suddenly, she hears an odd sound coming from a nearby place. Carefully, Jennifer follows the noise until she reaches a small cabin in the backyard. When she walks inside, she finds it filled with sharp tools and poisonous chemicals, but no signs of an intruder. Then Jennifer locks the cabin and returns to the house quickly. The girl accidentally spills her drink on the clothes, then goes to the washroom to wash the stained clothes. But Jennifer is unaware that someone is in the glass window with the camera, filming everything she does. Early in the morning, Jennifer runs through the woodland to keep her body healthy. However, she quickly stops when she hears voices coming from the trees. She becomes curious when she spots an abandoned house in the woods. Jennifer looks inside it and finds antique wine bottles and a bathtub. The girl makes the decision to give up running and head back to the house. Jennifer discovers that the water is filthy and the plumbing is damaged as she tries to freshen up. Then she calls the property owner. Earl gives her his word and promises to send a technician in an hour to fix the problem immediately. Jennifer's phone falls into the toilet as soon as she hangs up, and even though she retrieves it, the mobile is already damaged beyond repair. Shortly after, a man named Matthew arrives to fix the plumbing. He's got a mental disorder, however, he's capable and solves the plumbing problem quickly. Jennifer asks for his help after informing him that her phone was damaged after she dropped it in the toilet. Matthew promises to help her with it. Overcome with happiness, the girl then comes up to Matthew and gives him a peck as a token of appreciation for his assistance, which makes him so uncomfortable and ashamed that he walks away without taking his money. Andy, Stanley, and Johnny gathered outside in the afternoon to watch the video Stanley filmed on his camera. Matthew also joins them to have fun together. Stanley plays back Jennifer's footage he took when he was in the window. He claims to have been filming her ever since he first saw her at the gas station and to have filmed the video of her attempting to approach Matthew. Johnny becomes even more enraged when Stanley begins making fun of him since Jennifer rejected him, but she went close to Matthew and kissed him. Matthew informs them that Jennifer stays alone at the cabin, and her phone broke after falling in the toilet. The group decides to take advantage of this opportunity for their benefit. Jennifer is working at night, as she always does. But whenever the girl gets tired of writing, she sets the joint on fire to make herself sleep. Suddenly she hears something pound on the house, and upon opening the door, she discovers a dead bird on the floor. In an attempt to identify the culprit, Jennifer chooses to take a stroll around the house, but she finds no one. Jennifer gets scared when she sees that the cabin door is open once again. And after closing it, the girl heads back inside the house. Jennifer gets astonished the moment she discovers her picture and Stanley on the laptop. Out of the blue, the 3 males emerge inside the house. Matthew appears to be accompanying them against his will since he is terrified of them and is powerless to say no to their demands. Fearful, Jennifer threatens to call the police, but they are aware that she does not have a phone. Johnny tells her to do as she pleases, but no one will come for her rescue. Breaking down, Jennifer promises them all she owns in exchange for their departure. She even pulls out cash to give it to Matthew for his plumbing work. However, the ringleader, Johnny, declines her offer but asks her why she came to this dangerous place. Jennifer says that she's there for work and that her boyfriend will arrive there shortly. They have to leave her alone. Johnny is aware that she is alone herself. Additionally, she's lying to them since her boyfriend wouldn't have allowed her to come to the forest alone. Johnny asks her to join them for a drink, and once the girl declines, Andy hits her while Stanley records the scene. Jennifer complies when Johnny pushes her to join them for a drink on the off chance that they will leave her alone afterwards. When they begin to make fun of her, Jennifer escapes and makes her way through the forest, where she encounters Deputy Sheriff Storick, who is out hunting with Earl. She informs them of the incident. In order to confirm her story, the cop puts her in his car and brings her back to the cabin house. When the deputy sheriff discovers a piece of joint on the ground, he begins to disbelieve her story, claiming it was all in her head and she was making up. Jennifer becomes upset with him for disbelieving her and diverting his attention from the real issue. In order to investigate her and make sure she isn't hiding anything illegal, Storick orders her to turn against the wall. It's clear that the deputy sheriff is friends with the 4 local boys who joined him soon into the house and began hitting Jennifer. Amidst all of this, the sheriff gets the courage to tell his pregnant wife a falsehood, claiming to be in the middle of something and asking her to give him a call back. The group coerced Matthew to do as they had commanded him. However, Jennifer escapes again into the forest, but this time they don't let up and chase after her until they catch up with her. When they all grow tired of her presence, they let her go to die by walking in the forest. Jennifer is distraught over what has happened and makes the decision to jump into the water to escape them. The deputy sheriff gets his weapon to fire her, but she has already vanished. Fearing that she will report them to the authorities as soon as she lives, the sheriff orders his boys to search everywhere for the girl. The group tries to look everywhere for the girl, but they are unable to locate her. The sheriff then gives Andy and Johnny the order to go back to her house and get rid of her stuff, including the vehicle. The sheriff takes Stanley's camera recorded tape but discards it to make sure there is no evidence against them. Matthew sits along the river, waiting for Jennifer to emerge from the water. The deputy sheriff notices that Matthew is still traumatized and might tell someone what they have forced him to do. So he ordered the rest to be with him all the time. The policeman threatens to kill them all if Matthew talks to anyone about what has just happened. Storick gets home to meet his pregnant wife and daughter, who have been waiting for him for celebration since his daughter passed her examinations with flying colors. Storick apologized for being late, then fed them his lies that there was an accident on the road as the reason. The following day, Deputy Sheriff Riff meets with Earl and gives back Jennifer's house keys, saying that she hurriedly went back to the city when he discovered that she was in possession of illegal items that may put her in jail. Almost a month after the mysterious disappearance of Jennifer, her body has not been located. Earl calls the deputy sheriff to inform him that Jennifer's boyfriend has reached out to him directly to inquire about her whereabouts because she has been missing for a month. Since the deputy sheriff was the last person to see her, Earl provided him with Storick's phone number. Fearing that his wife might know, Storick promises to give him a call back the following day, using the late hour as justification. The following day, the deputy sheriff gets in touch with Earl and decides to go hunting in the woods. The deputy sheriff uses this opportunity to kill Earl to get rid of any possible witnesses. A few moments later, a confused Stanley meets both Andy and Johnny and opens up to them, saying that he lied to them the other time. He reveals to them that he actually gave them an empty tape and kept the original copy that contained Jennifer's recordings. Unfortunately, an unidentified person broke into his house and stole it along with the camera. Angrily, Johnny strikes Stanley the moment he hears it. Johnny gets scared the moment he hears something pound on his house. He opens the door only to discover a dead bird on the ground, but he takes it lightly and then goes back inside after tossing the bird away. Johnny gets scared when he hears the sound again and discovers the bird has been returned to the doorsteps, which terrifies him greatly because they recently used the same technique to draw Jennifer's attention. He grabs his rifle and makes his way out of the house, where he discovers the bracelets that Matthew had on, which makes him think Matthew is just jesting with him. The deputy sheriff becomes surprised when his wife informs him that someone delivered a recorded tape with the name Stanley on it. She attempted to play it, but it failed. Once Storick finds out that the recording still exists, he races to meet Johnny's gang. Outraged, he hits Stanley, believing that he was the one who delivered the tape to his house to expose him. Johnny intervenes to stop the sheriff, and he's thinking that Matthew is playing all these games since he discovered Matthew's wristbands and Jennifer's sandals in front of his house. Storick gives them the order to find Matthew and watch him closely. Matthew hears Jennifer's voice emanating from the cabin house, and as he walks in, he is surprised to see the girl still alive. Jennifer pulls out a rope and strangles Matthew before he can even say sorry for his actions. In accordance with the sheriff's directive to keep a watch on Matthew, Andy and Stanley set out to find him. When they hear the song that Andy used to play, they think Matthew is again pulling his practical joke on them. Andy walks in the direction of the sound until it leads him to the abandoned house. Stanley discovers Jennifer unexpectedly standing in front of him in the woods. Once he tries to kill her, the girl has already prepared a trap for him and sustains a severe leg injury. Andy rushes back after hearing Stanley scream for help. However, Jennifer strikes and knocks him out too. Andy awakens in the house when he's bound and has a water-filled bathtub beneath him. Stanley wakes up stringed up to a tree. Jennifer intends to exact the same kind of retribution on them. She turns on the camera to record every moment and orders him to smile at the camera the same way he did to her. Stanley tries to apologize, but Jennifer doesn't want to hear anything from him. The girl starts to torture him, and after damaging him enough, she leaves him and walks away. Jennifer enters the abandoned house to meet her prisoner. Andy screams because of the injured face after the girl has immersed him in a water tub containing chemicals. Jennifer, filled with anger, decides to wait until she sees him slip away. Stanley gets surrounded by angry birds that start to devour him due to the stench. A little while later, Johnny is startled when Jennifer lures him to her trap at the gas station. The girl knocks him out. Johnny awakens when Jennifer has bound his hands to the poles in the same abandoned house. Jennifer tells him that she isn't prepared to stop, as they didn't stop when she begged them for mercy, so she tortures him, causing him excruciating pain until he begs her to stop. Ultimately, Johnny passed away from his injuries. When the deputy sheriff is driving to the station in the afternoon, his wife calls to let him know that their daughter's new class teacher, Jennifer, has visited their home. This startles the sheriff, who immediately turns the vehicle and heads back home. His wife informs him that Jennifer has taken their daughter to the park with other children. Storick instantly races to the kids' park, but he can't find his daughter. When he returns to his vehicle, Jennifer knocks him out since she had already waiting for him. The sheriff regains consciousness when the rifle is resting against his back and he is strapped up. Jennifer, who stands behind his back, reminds him how it feels to be helpless. The girl ropes the shotgun trigger into Matthew's hand before walking outside the house. Matthew awakens, and when he moves his hands, the gunshot instantly kills the two of them on the spot. This brings the movie to an end. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to watch more of my videos. Have a good day.